All right, away from China for the moment, because we're going to go back to our main story, the violence in Gaza and in southern Israel. And joining me now is Professor Fawaz Gerges, the director of the Middle East Centre at the London School of Economics. Fawaz, thanks for coming in. I just wonder, the reality is, we're in a world across the Middle East now and North Africa where we don't really know what the full ramifications might be of this sort of blow-up, do we?
We really don't. And I think one of the major, mistakes that Benjamin Netanyahu commits, he does not really appreciate the historical changes that have taken place in the region. In Egypt, in Palestinian territories. David, few people know that the Egyptian leadership, the Muslim Brotherhood leadership, has exercised tremendous moderating influence on Hamas. And that's why I believe, even though the situation is very fragile, even though it's very dangerous, Egypt, cooler heads, in particular in Egypt, and the Arab world will basically exercise influence on Hamas to keep its response limited. Khalid Mash'al, you just mentioned Khalid Mash'al, he said in a clever and determined way. What he's really trying to say, don't let the situation spiral out of control.
Well, I did wonder from those words, as you say, clever and determined, so it could suggest there would be a change of tack.
Slow down.
And President Morsi's influence there. Do you see this already? You're reading between the lines as that is the way in which to de-escalate this.
Remember, David, President Morsi has so much on his plate. The Egyptian economy is in a terrible, dismal situation. Egypt is trying to build this institution. That is, domestic concerns basically are really priority for Morsi. And Morsi, the Egyptian and Hamas, I would argue, their interests do not lie in all-out confrontation with Israel. So on the Hamas Egyptian side, I would argue my reading will be de-escalate. You've already responded. The question is, also Netanyahu has his own domestic concerns. He has elections in January. He wants to come across as a strong man. He's going to show that he has flexing his muscles. Will the United States and the European leadership exercise also influence on Netanyahu? I was happy to hear Mr. William Hague saying that he calls on the Israeli leadership to de-escalate, and this is really good news.
Well, it often takes a crisis to provoke some sort of action. We'll have to see if that turns out to be positive action. Fawaz, for now, thank you very much.